Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi Imo, and I am your cake business coach. This is your cake business school where I teach you tips and strategies on how to grow a blooming cake business. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Sweden in the United Kingdom. And if you're seeing my beautiful face for the first time, I'm so delighted to have you here. You've always been here. Thank you so very much for your support. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can get the best red velvet cake. This is a follow-up to a video I made a couple of weeks back, or a video I made before this, because I don't know where this video is coming up, where I talked about chocolate cake recipes, secrets to getting the perfect chocolate cake. Now, this is for red velvet because I know that a lot of bakers struggle with getting the perfect red velvet cake. Now, if there's something you're interested in, get something to eat, drink, relax, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. The first thing I'm going to be talking about, if you want to get a perfect red velvet cake, just like this one that you can see on the screen, is that you should get a very good red velvet recipe. Now, this is a no-brainer, and a red velvet cake is not something that you want to diddle-daddle with, if there's anything like that. It's not something you want to toy with. It's not something you want to play with. It's not something you just pick recipes off the internet from anywhere and begin to try and to test. You're going to end up spending a lot of time perfecting it, getting the perfect one, and also waste your resources in the process, or learn through the process, whichever way you choose to see it, half empty or half full glass cup. A half empty or half full glass cup, it all depends on you, but you want to get a good recipe, and the shortest and surest way to do this is to learn from a pro. So why not enroll into a cake school and learn a good recipe from a pro, where you will not have issues? You can easily try it out and know that you're going to get a good result at the end of everything. So this is one thing that I must say before we move ahead. The first point is to get a very good red velvet recipe. Now, the second point is to use a very good and quality red food coloring. This is, of course, this is where we get the name from. I think so. This is where the red comes in the red velvet cake. So you need to get red food coloring that you can use, or that you will use for your red velvet cake. And in the beginning, in the earlier days of my baking, there was this particular brand that we used to use then. And oftentimes you will struggle with getting that perfect red color for your red velvet cake. So people have resorted to trying other things, using other types of food color for their red velvet cakes when they're baking. Now you can decide to use powdered food color, powdered red food color, or you can use paste red food color. These two will work absolutely fine. I'm not too sure of liquid at this point. Like I said, back in the day, it used to be an issue with getting the perfect red color for your red velvet cakes. You tend to have patches of brown and red, and then you also would not have that red color that you desire, whether it is bright red or a dark kind of, let's say, maroon kind of red. You would not have either of those two. You'll be dealing with a brownish kind of red velvet cake, and you do not want that. So whichever you use, whichever you decide to work with, either powdered or paste, it is just fine. But I find that the powdered is more efficient, and also it is more affordable and economical to use. Now, this is what I use, which is what I have for sale as well. So I use this food color, and it is powdered, and it's been working really fine for me. For years, this is what I've been using, and it works really fine for my red velvet cakes. You can either dissolve it in milk or your eggs, or add it to the flour, or dissolve it with your cocoa powder and some water. You can dissolve it with water on its own. However you choose to use it, it will work just fine. So that's what I use. And if you decide you want to use red food color, there are other brands out there that I can't mention or I can't recommend. I haven't used them, but I know that they give good results for baking red velvet cakes as well. So it depends on your location. If you are in the US or in the UK or in Nigeria or in Tanzania, China, wherever, there was something definitely that the bakers around there use. So you want to research or ask questions to know what works or what obtains in your location. If not, it will just be a constant struggle trying to get that perfect red food coloring that you need for your red velvet cakes. So make sure that you're getting the best red food color for your red velvet cakes. Now, the third secret is to cook with moderate heat. Red velvet is not something that you want to rush. You don't want to rush the process. You don't want to cook with high heat. You're going to have brown spots and brown patches within or amongst your cake. Now, the key thing with baking cakes is to learn to cook with an even temperature. I think I'm going to have to do a video on baking itself. or using your oven or baking itself, please, if you've been interested in this video, let me know so that I can share, because I've learned some new things with regards to baking with your oven. So if you've been interested in this video, please let me know. I have a playlist, but I think that I want to add an update to that playlist. So let me know what you think, and if you've been interested, and I'll make a video on baking with your ovens and some things that you should know. So that is it with red velvet cakes. You don't bake fast, you don't bake high. What I mean fast and high, you don't bake at a very hot temperature or at a hot temperature. You want to turn the temperature down a bit. Now, the universal temperature for baking, like you know, or like you must have seen, or like you must have heard, is around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which translates to about 170 or 180 degrees centigrade. So you want to tone it down just a little bit. Maybe you can work with 280 or you can work with 300. Yes, it will work absolutely fine. I'm not too sure of this, but I'll do my research and probably put some updates on the screen for you. But you want to work with a lower temperature. Don't worry, you have no fears. It's going to take a longer time to get baked, definitely, but you'll come out with a nicely baked red velvet cake. So this is one of the secrets. Don't use high heat for baking your red velvet cakes, so that you would have all red, beautiful red velvet. Now, the fourth thing is your pan. We can't talk about this enough. Why I can't talk about this enough. It is something that is often overlooked, but one thing that is very vital when it comes to baking your cakes. Now, this cuts across, but most definitely you need to mind the kind of pan that you're using for your red velvet cakes. And another thing which is very important, especially here and now for me, is to line my pans. So you line your baking pans. I know that you use your non-stick or your non-stick oil or non-stick spray, cooking spray, or baking spray. But that's not just enough for me. I do not want to bake and be struggling with a broken cake. So I want to bake and have my cake come out looking nice and in one piece. So what I do these days is to use my baking spray first of all, the base, for the base and the sides, and also to use my parchment or baking paper for the base and the sides. Before, because they are non-stick pans, I used to just do for the base, but I know from experience and over time that it gives me a much better result when I bake with lined pans, both the bottom of the base and the sides. It looks red, top, bottom, sides, inside. So I have an all red, beautiful looking red velvet cake. And now this is one thing that you really want to take note of. Mind the kind of pan you use. Invest in quality pans. These are things that you buy, like they're one-offs. You buy it and you use it for a very long time without having the need to replace, because it's burning your cakes, or your cakes are always coming out domed or something. You get good results with your cakes, especially your red velvet cakes, when you bake with good baking pans. Now, the fifth tip that I want to share with regards to getting the best red velvet cake is to enhance your flavor, enhance the taste of your cakes. I've made a video on enhancing cake flavors, and I've talked about how you can combine flavors. If you've not watched that video, you're missing out on a lot. It's a gold mine, and I have it there on my channel so that you can see. So watch that video and learn how to combine flavors. I made some recommendation based on how you can pair your flavors. So you might want to check out that particular video and learn how to combine flavors to enhance the flavor of your red velvet cake. You don't want it tasting like every other person's red velvet cake. You don't want your cake tasting like everybody else's cake. So you want that uniqueness and distinctness to the flavor of your cakes. To top this up, please try investing in Dutch processed cocoa powder. You know, you use cocoa powder when you're baking red velvet cakes. That's a given. It's a given. So you want to invest in getting Dutch processed cocoa powder. And if you don't know what this is, that means you've not watched the chocolate cake video. So you need to go back and watch it, where I explain what your Dutch processed cocoa powder is. It enhances the taste, and it's going to just give that rich, flavorful taste to your red velvet cakes. Now, these are some tips and some secrets on how you can get the best red velvet cake. If you try these out, you will thank me later for it. Please just try it out. And oops. Please just try. The sun just came up and that happened. I'm so sorry. So please try it out, and I bet you would testify to your red velvet cakes looking better and coming out moist, coming out nice. One more thing you need to do, or you would like to do, is to always make sure that you're sealing in the moisture, trap in the moisture, so that your cakes will remain moist. I've also made a video on keeping your cake moist, how to get a moist cake. So check out that video as well. Like, I have lots of videos and lots of resources that would help you in your baking journey as a baker. So do not forget to watch that video. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you did, drop me a cupcake. Let me know that it was helpful down in the comments. I would love to read from you. Please, if you know you watch up till this point, drop me a cupcake or say excellent or say awesome video, whatever it is. Just please drop me a comment. That's way I'll know that you're one of the MVPs on this channel. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy. Don't forget to like and also to subscribe. And if you have any questions, please drop them down below and I'll do my best to answer. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.